Hello everyone, my name is Mamikon and welcome to my YouTube channel. I wanted to celebrate the launch of the 10th edition of Warhammer 40,000 in style, so I've created this diorama showcasing a new Warhammer's leaper for Tyranids fighting or even killing a Ultramarine Terminator. Without further ado, let's get into the video. We will start the painting process with the Ultramarine, trying to replicate the iconic heavy metal style paint job. So we will base coat the miniature with blue, then build some shading using black, and then add highlights using brighter bluish tones. Now let's also add some battle damage with the brightest highlight tone that we've used before and add some very fine chipping heavy metal style. Next, we will very quickly and very easily highlight all of the black parts using bluish grays and white. Next, it's time to paint the purity seal wax, and we will use purple for that, pushing the highlights all the way to beige. Next, we will use the same beige color to base coat the parchment. Then we will use a wash by Citadel called Seraphim Sepia to add some shading. And then we will freehand the text on the parchment. Just today, I've posted a detailed video tutorial showcasing how to make these and how to paint them to the most amazing standard on my Patreon. Check it out. The link to my Patreon is in the description to this video. Next up, we will base coat all of the gold parts using dark brown, and we will build on the highlights using yellows, beige, and white to create a beautiful non-metallic metal finish. Next, we will use cold grays, blues, and white to paint all of the non-metallic silver parts. Next, it's time to paint the red robes on this Ultramarine. And for that, we will start with a dark brown base coat, and we will build on the highlights using all of the beautiful red colors offered by Games Workshop Citadel range. So Mephiston Red, Even Sun Scarlet, Troll Slayer Orange, and Wild Rider Red. And now finally it's time to paint the sword, and we will use non-metallic metal here again, building the highlights from black using blues, grays, and white. Next, we will also add some transfers onto our Ultramarine to showcase that he is a true servant of the Emperor. Here's a top tip. Make sure to cut as closely as possible to the transfer itself so that the edges of the decal are not visible. Next, we will apply some weathering onto the transfer by painting on top of it using the color that we've used for the base coat of the armor. And here's how our Ultramarine looks so far. And for the Tyranid model, we will be using the new beautiful Von Varians Leaper that looks very much so like the old Lictors. I have to be honest and say that before buying the Leviathan box, I wasn't really a fan of painting Tyranids, but after tackling all of these amazing new sculpts, I can't get enough of them. I have already released 3 long tutorials about painting Tyranids and the amazing, iconic Hive Fleet Leviathan, Kraken, and Tiamet painting schemes. And I'm not planning to stop. I will create a few more tutorials about the most amazing painting schemes for Tyranids, and I'll post them as well. And now, please enjoy the long montage showing how I've painted this model. Now it's time to add the blood effect, and for that I will use Uhu Glue and Blood for the Blood God technical paint from Citadel. If you would like to paint your Tyranids in the classic Hive Fleet Leviathan color scheme just like you can see here, you can follow the link in the description to this video and subscribe to my Patreon, where you can find a long 22+ minute long tutorial about painting this exact model. Now it's time for the final part of this video, where we will be creating the display base for both of these miniatures. And to build the rocky foundation here, we will be using tree bark. Now it is time to check if our wounded Ultramarine Terminator will fit nicely on the rock here. Next, I will use an X-Acto knife to make sure that the rock is perfectly fitted for our Space Marine. Now it's time to glue everything together, and I'll be using super glue and the super glue activator, which is a game-changing tool and you have to have it in your arsenal. So go buy it on eBay or on Amazon for a couple of dollars. Now let's paint the base. We will start with a base coat of black from a spray can. Then we will airbrush some very cold blue onto the base. And then we will follow that with a dry brush of Fenrisian Grey. Now it's time to add some very cool wintry effects, and we will start with snow. And for snow, I use a mix of baking soda and PVA glue. Now, some people will tell you that this will go yellow after a few years, but I've been doing this for 15 years. I've never had that effect, and I think you just have to follow the formula that I've given you and just mix the PVA glue with baking soda without adding anything else to it to achieve a result that will last you years and won't be disappointing. Next, we will also add a ice effect, so we will kind of showcase that the surroundings are very cold. Maybe these guys are even on a frozen lake, who knows? But an ice effect will do very nicely on this base as well. Now let's add the snow effect on the Space Marine as well. Next, we will add the blood effect all over the base, close to the parts that are wounded on the Space Marine, using Blood for the Blood God Technical Paint from Citadel. This is how our poor Space Marine looks on the base finished. Now let's glue in the Von Ryan's Leaper onto the base. Let's also not forget about adding a little bit of snow around the feet of the lictor. I also thought it would be extremely cool to add some blood effect coming from the Space Marine and going all the way to the face and talons of the wonderful Tyranid here. So that's exactly what we will do using Uhu glue again. Finally, it's time for the most satisfying part of every project, removing the masking tape from the display plinth. The time has come to show you the final result. Here it is. The project is finished and I'm so happy with it. I think it looks pretty cool. What do you think? I really hope that you like this one, guys. Well, that is it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed it. And if you did, please give this video a like, share it, subscribe to the channel, and most importantly, if you would like to learn from me and support my art, please check out my Patreon. The link is in the description of this video.